Big Boo. Ayo, teachers. Shh. I got something to say to you. In the grand scheme of it all, we are the people who they forget are still human. We have our own families. We have our own situations. We are doing this as a job, but for most of us, this is a passion. If you have been teaching more than 4 years, this is a passion that you have to help children go to a different level in life. It's a passion. It's something that we love to do. We love to see the transforming of a young mind or of a older mind, because some of us have been teachers in colleges and universities for years. I have something to say to us teachers, because a lot of us go through burnout very quickly. We deal with so many people who have so many things to say. We deal with so many people who have judgment very quickly. And half of these people, most of the time, they don't even know how to teach themselves. To teach is a very hard thing to do. You have to take yourself out of the equation, and you have to solely give it all to influence and change a young mind. Now, when I say to influence and change your young mind, it doesn't mean a negative notion that society has made. It means that you have to evolve a mind to change and grow in its own aspect. And most of us that are teachers have over 30 students. So imagine every day going to work and having to change a young mind, or change a mind, period, and growing them by words. Now, most people don't pay attention to when you're teaching. They say it's boring. You're just saying words. There's something about the power of words. And we, as teachers, hold the power of words very carefully, because every lesson that we teach is another word intricately going into a mind. It is making the mind think. It is making the mind wonder. It is making the mind question. And that is what a true teacher is. Now, I'm talking to the teachers because I noticed that in the past month, there are over 900 of us that have put in our resignation. The children that we are going to change has changed. The behaviors of the adults that we are trying to uplift has changed. Society itself has become an object of a threat to contend with. You have so many things that have been put in the classroom that doesn't belong, that now you are fighting against yourself to do something that you love to do. You have so many people that are speaking against you, and no one that is getting up to have your back. You have people put in places that aren't even teachers that said, let me take this on, we're going to see how we do. It is a dangerous situation to put a uncanvas painting in a classroom. A teacher is a prop in the middle of the classroom that will get everybody's attention. It is also the same prop that can control the environment. But in today's society, you wear so many hats that don't belong with being a teacher. And I have this to say. I appreciate everything you do as a brother and sister in education like me. I appreciate everything that you have accomplished as a brother and sister in education like me. And I appreciate the fact that you got the balls to do what most people don't even want to do themselves. But you got to get the confidence back. Our children and our future of this country is damaged because we're damaged. It's not all on us, because what people forget is if you can't train them at home, we can't train them in the building. What people forget is that We might be the person that's with your kids, like a glorified babysitter, like some of you call teachers. But understand something. Within us speaking to your child, within us dealing with your child, within us trying to understand what your child needs, we have overstepped the boundary of teacher and became the surrogate parent. The changing of the tides have got to stop. We're not a serified parent. Well, a surrogate parent, sorry, not a serified parent. I call a serified parent a teacher who goes beyond the job entity of it. The job entity is that we are supposed to elaborate on your mind. If you wonder, if you think, if you question, if you succeed, then we get the glory. But we can't take the glory of something that has been taken away from us. Most of you going into the teaching world right now are asking me questions of what am I supposed to do about this? And what am I supposed to do about that? And how am I going to change this? The policies and the politics of teaching has changed. And I say politics because politics need to stay the hell out the classroom. And they have been in the classroom for the last 5 years. It has changed how children think. Children don't even think anymore because we have gotten to be so busy while we're teaching. It doesn't make any sense. Between trying to control the classroom and control the narrative, teaching has changed to acting. Some of y'all can get mad when I say it, but most actors can be teachers because the same concept of you have to step into a character, you literally become invincible. But now we got other things to deal with. Like, are we going to go home to see our families? Is this child going to snap enough because he's dealing or she's dealing with things from their home? We forget that as the first line of defense for children, teachers stand as one of the blocks. But we are so busy because now we got paperwork and now we got politics and now we got things we can't say. And now we got to teach them this and teach them that. Now we got to deal with the parents fighting amongst themselves. Understand that you are well needed if this is your career. If this is not your career and you took this on as just a job, we don't need you in the school buildings. I'm not saying it to be funny. I'm saying it because it's affecting the actual teachers. Just having a person there as a body that doesn't understand what we go through when we train to become this. Because to be a teacher, you have to train to become it. It is something that you have inside of you already. Educating other people is something that you have embedded in you, and then you train it, you nurture it, and it becomes a word. And the word it becomes is teacher. But we also know in order to teach, we have to be the student at the same time. Because we are learning. We are learning as we teach. We could be one of the most powerful teachers on this earth. But in the middle of us walking into a brand new classroom, we become the teacher and the student. That's why I said it's a balancing act. Within being the student, you understand that there are certain things going on in kids' minds. There are certain things going on in adults' minds. There are things going on in this place. You understand that you have to learn your classroom. You have to learn your parents. You have to learn what this school year is going to take. And then you got to break it down and teach it. Do me a favor. For every teacher that want to quit, think about every child that you could have changed. That doesn't mean stay where you are and be miserable. There are different ways that we can step in and help kids. I do it every day. I have not been in a school building in 9 years. But every day, I homeschool my kids and I teach other children that the future is still here. It is something about watching young minds expand. And that's what we're missing. We're missing the quality of ourselves because we're burned out. Do me a favor and stand up. Say, I'm a teacher, motherfucker. What you are. It's the Baby Whisper saying thank you for being you.